welcome to GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson Passey from Carolina Girl Genealogy. And we've got a wonderful guest and a great panel, so we need to move right into this. We've got Melissa Barker, our archive lady. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, everybody.
So glad you're here. Shelley Murphy, the family tree girl's here.
Hailing from Virginia.
Hey, Shelley. We've got Dan Earl, a family history guy. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. And Laura Hedgecock from Treasure Chest of Memories is here. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Good to have you. Now, I am so excited about our special guest. We all know and love Pat Richley-Erickson, aka DearMyrtle. She's come on tonight to talk to us. We know her from Mondays with Myrt, Wacky Wednesday. We can go on and on. Her study groups, her blog, all the wonderful things she does. She is definitely our friend in genealogy. Welcome, Pat. We are so excited to have you here.
Good to be here, and we have a different sort of subject today, don't we?
We really do. Pat, you probably don't know this, or maybe some of you do who join us, but Pat has been very generous and built a space in Second Life for genealogists to meet and talk and have meetings and gather and learn. A lot of us aren't in places where we can, well, nowadays we got COVID, right? So we can't gather anyway. But a lot of us don't have APG groups or genealogy societies or any kind of study groups that we can get to. And so this facilitates that, and you can come as your avatar and nobody even knows who you are.
It's an incognito thing, except that y'all figured out who I was by my typos when we couldn't do voice.
Yes, of course you can do voice, and then you can recognize people's voices, but we have to wait because Laura has a question, and we've told her that she could volley the first question. Go ahead, Laura.
Okay, I'm bracing myself here.
Yeah, we get tough, don't we?
Right.
Don't we?
Yeah, hurricane's coming. No, I'm just really curious because I'm a Johnny come lately to the Second Life. I didn't even know what it was when I was told, oh, there's this virtual world where you can go in and go to this genealogy pit.
It does sound weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, so my question is how all this got started, the history of it. I didn't realize you had built everything. I knew you'd been involved. So I just would love to hear how that came to be.
Well, I saw an advertisement on a billboard in Bellevue, Washington, which is right next to Redmond, Washington, which is, you know, Microsoft. And it said, it just said secondlife.com. And I'm like, now there's a .com. That's when we had like 5 .coms. There was Afrogenius and DearMyrtle and Roots Web, and that was about it. You know, so I didn't know what the heck Second Life was. And at the time, I was the principal caregiver for our parents who were on hospice. So when I had a moment, we had home health came in occasionally to help so that I could sleep or something for an hour. But I went on the computer and typed in Second Life, and you could create an avatar. So, you know, I'm a svelte blonde in Second Life. I mean, if you're going to make an avatar, look like you want, you know. And I principally went there. I didn't know what to do when I was there. So I looked up caregiving, and there were groups of people who were caregivers that anytime they wanted to, you could come and hang out and talk about, because caregiving's really hard. And it was like a support group, probably like going to AA or Al-Anon or something. And then one day I said, well, I wonder what other groups there are. Because I did enjoy and found good support in one of the caregiving groups. And I am not the only builder in Second Life. But anyway, I typed in the word genealogy, and it took me to this tiny little patch, and a guy avatar was there in a kilt. And he was very authoritative, etc., etc. And he had a little white goatee here. And I finally gave up. And while I was in Second Life, I called Craig Scott on my phone. I don't even think, yeah, we had cell phones then.
Well, when you said goatee, that's the first person I thought of.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was, and you couldn't do voice chat like we can now. But I said, Craig, there's somebody in Second Life in a tiny little genealogy space, and his name is Craig, K-R-A-G Mariner, and he is imitating you. And he said, Myrt, it's me. I'm in there. My name is Clarice Beaumont. You know, I can make whatever name I want. Exactly. But he recognized me by I guess, whatever it was I typed. And he was there as a part of a librarian group, and you know, he has a publishing company, Heritage Books, and that's how I got into the genealogy part. And when he decided to move, he gave me the property, and of course we've added on to it, and just today we are planning what we're going to do for our Halloween decorations and a big party.
Oh, fun.
And that's what we do. It's fun too, not just learning. And there's very specific learning. Do you want me to share my screen? Or
that'd be wonderful. Yeah, thank you, so that people can see what it looks like.
Okay. So this was before there was any other kind of virtual meetings.
Yeah, we didn't have GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting.
You pioneered the virtual meeting.
And I had done podcasting, and that was about the major way of getting to do things. But are we seeing my second line?
Yes, I see it.
Okay,
as well as your blonde hair.
That's me,
love
my
that
perfect blonde
hair. Oh my goodness. Is that your family, what is it called? The tarlatan?
Yeah, those are just interesting little banners. Yes, which you would typically see in a castle.
Yeah.
And one of our friends, Dee Dee, made this little chat area where we can sit.
God.
So I just right click and tell it, sit here. And I pretty much am sitting there. Let me change the camera view so you can see my face. Okay, I'm sitting like a guy, so I will change that a little better. But one of the reasons,
look at those heels.
Yeah, I can wear stilettos.
Oh my 4-inch.
And yes, oh my gosh, I can't even walk in First Life. That's what we call real life. And what intrigued me about Second Life was that we could show PowerPoints.
Oh,
and people could join. This is a PowerPoint screen.
Yeah.
And people could come and have a discussion. It takes a little bit for the things to come in, especially, this is for the Association of Professional Genealogists chapter. We once were the golden chapter for the year and it was the first virtual one. And the whole point of it was, as you say, we sometimes can't get together.
Right.
That was clear back in 2012. We were just 8 years ahead of our time.
Now, what kind of meetings? Tell everybody what kind of meetings we have there. We have the APG chapter.
Yes, and that chapter is not necessarily just your typical APG. We have a small group, and you know what we talked about this year. In January, we set a goal, each of us, a personal goal, so that by August we would have accomplished something.
That's right.
One person wanted to finally get her website going. Another person wanted to deal with mechanizing a system so that when a client approaches, she's got a way to say, okay, this is how much it would be. This is what you can expect in that package. We talked about contracts. We compared our contracts. And Laura, without giving away your identity in Second Life, you attend and talk to me. Mention what some of the different points of view. I had a completely different point of view. I'm not taking clients, so I'm writing journals little journals, small enough that I can give one to each grandchild with
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah.
What were some of the other things we talked about, Nate?
Well, there's people taking professional clients for research. There's people that are doing coaching. One person is going into web design coaching. Other people are doing kind of family history coaching, but instead of doing the work, leading them. There's people that do presentations and need contracts for that. And then kind of the submitting to journals and getting yourself published. So there's a pretty wide swath of what the professional endeavors are.
Mm-hmm.
They had different goals, but by our setting personal goals and checking in with each other each month, and then we'd have a different topic to discuss each month along that way, it was all moving the conversation forward so that each person actually met their goals. One did in July.
Yeah.
I'm slow, but
yeah. Well, there's more than just APG too. There's a Genealogy Society that meets in Second Life. There are NGS study groups that meet in Second Life. There's the slide for that. So there's a lot of different things that you can take advantage of, and it's not difficult. I know the first time I tried to get in, I couldn't figure out how to get my avatar dressed and all that kind of stuff, but we're there to help each other. And just FYI, gosh, it's been years since I've been in Second Life, and my avatar still isn't the same outfit it was in the first day I attended a meeting, because I'm there to listen to the meetings. I'm not there to change my avatar. I don't know how to do it anyway.
I feel you, because another person helped me, and I had a newbie outfit, and she wisely told me,
hang in there, Dan, it's okay.
Well, Dan's been in.
Yeah.
She told me to go somewhere else to change, and it was a good thing, because I messed it all up, and I was walking around with no top on. And then I lost my skin and only had clothing.
So you were a shadow of your former self, a ghost.
Now, Dan, you attended a meeting recently. How did that go? How did you feel about getting in, making your avatar?
It was good. So I learned about it through some after the recording chat in this group, and so I said, well, I'll hop on Second Life, and then got lost in the very beginning part, and then saw the notice on Facebook of, hey, this group's meeting. I'm like, oh, let's see, I can either jump on this group or deal with my kids. And so I jumped on the group.
Good choice.
Which is nearly always the right choice. You can choose between, if you can choose between dead relatives and small annoying ones, you always choose the dead ones.
Yeah.
And so I hopped on and came in and sort of figured stuff out, and then everyone's like, who's the long-haired guy with the guitar in the back?
That was me asking that question. I didn't know who you were, because you had an odd name. It was like initials and numbers or
Yeah, because I didn't know what I was doing. They're like, do you want to use this name? I'm like, sure. I didn't know we could make up stuff and be like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, man. And it was like, so it was just like, you want to use this random assortment of letters and numbers? Great. I thought everybody would, and then I get in and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're using names. Then I was like, I recognize people's voices, and I was like, I know that's Pat, but that's not Pat's name. I was like, that is weird. So it was like the same experience that Pat had at the beginning, where I'm like, that doesn't really look like Pat, but it sounds like Pat.
Now wait a minute, she says.
That Pat could have danced with you a little bit better when we were at FGS last year at about this time. But
that's right.
We did dance in First Life together, in real life
we did.
together.
We have danced in First Life.
Our avatars can sit and walk and fly. And you basically, this is such a big virtual space, you cannot see every little part of Second Life. You cannot get there.
Right. That's why I just stay there, so I never get lost. My avatar, I never even, my avatar stays at the fire pit, and I just leave.
This is what we call it. Now,
so I have a clarifying question.
Yes.
So in Second Life, there's only one Second Life, and then there's multiple groups within the Second Life.
Yeah, it's like a map. Like, let me show you a map.
Because I remember Tammy from Conference Keepers. Doesn't she have a Second Life?
Yes, she does.
Yes.
She does. It's right next door to me.
Okay, that's where I started at.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Oh, let me find the map. Where did they move the map? Yeah, here's the world map.
Okay, so several entities. Okay, great.
So this is just, I'm on the mainland because I've been here for so long. Thanks to Craig. It's all his fault. And technically speaking, I'm not supposed to identify anybody in world and give away their, because if they want.
Claire.
Yeah. So this area here is, this is all just genealogy, but I'm sitting in the fire pit. And right here is where Jeannie Weasels has, you know her as Tammy Mize. Yellow means it's available to purchase. So it costs me about $50 a month to maintain this area. But I'm really good friends with the genealogy research assistant, Tim Furkowski. He owns property next door, and we just decided to use most of my property to let him build on it. So there's a lot of cooperation. Our neighbors are very nice. Over here are shops where you can buy clothing if you want to change your clothes, Cheri.
Yeah, Cheri. Yeah, it's too technical for me. I'm fine the way I am. I'm there for meetings. I don't leave.
Well, and hoop skirts are never going to go out of style.
That's right.
No,
yeah,
this
absolutely.
is true. This is true.
I love this.
So it's a funny. It's a fun thing. It takes the stress out of it. There's no having to commute, but we're all meeting virtually now in one form or another. This is just a different one that's been around a lot longer than Zoom.
It's amazing though.
But I do know that people
from there to now. You know, think of what we're all doing. Just from 2012, that was getting introduced. And if you even think 2 or 3 years before that, we didn't have really a virtual environment. That, you know, much before 2012 that I know of.
You know, you're right. You are right. And I was just going to say, I know a lot of people, when you talk to them about Second Life, kind of get a little intimidated. Like, I don't know how to do this. There's lots of people that will help. And like I said, for me, I got my avatar. My avatar is in the same clothes. She stays in this. Every time I turn on Second Life, I can just click on, go back to where you were the last time. It takes me right to the fire pit. I make her sit down. Get her in a better pose like Pat just did, so she's not sitting like a man. And I just sit there and I can listen, and at the end I just close it out. So my avatar is always in the same spot. I don't have to, because I don't have to go traveling. I want to research and learn. I don't want to figure out how to do all the rest of the stuff. So
well, and look at what they've accomplished. 4,000 records have been indexed. This was that was the July statistics. So it's just like this place is where several Genealogy Society meetings occur in Second Life every month, except for July, was it, when I totally spaced because we were doing grip and I forgot to do APG.
You forgot
Shelley.
about the Second Life because of your first life.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's exactly.
So Dr. Shelley, you've been doing virtual things for a long time because of AOL's genealogy.
Yeah, we did the AOL. I called the AOL chats, genealogy chats.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what year that was. Was that like 2004, 5, or?
Oh no, it was.
It was 90s, 80s, 90s. 90s.
It was in the 90s because Valencia King Nelson went out with Virginius.com, and we're like, why would you ever want to go out on the web?
Exactly.
You know, and she was the first, and then I did, and other people in the forum are like, oh, you guys are terrible, you know, the silver stake, you know.
Yeah.
And but those were in the days when the internet was just barely getting going.
Yeah, just kicking off, really.
And our Valencia just had such a forward-thinking mind, didn't she?
She did, and I didn't meet her till later, and I never until later figured out that the Angela that was in the AOL chat was Angela Raji.
That's too
and
funny.
I always say,
That's too
I
funny.
didn't meet her till 2006. Well, yeah, I did, because in 1993,
Yes.
I've had AOL since 93. So in the 90s, I saw that and I said, oh, genealogy, what is that? And just went in there and just went in there.
That's cool. So Melissa and Shelley have not come on over and joined us in Second Life. So so Pat, what would you say to them to get, how would they, if they decided from tonight, or anybody watching this, okay, this is really cool, I want to be able to be part of these meetings, what would be the first thing that they would have to do besides go and download Second Life to their computer?
Right. Well, let me just show you. When you do that, this is my dashboard, but if I were to log out and go to secondlife.com, let me log out. That's where you can join for free. You don't have to spend $50 a month. I'm just playing with it. It's a game. Mr. Mert spends more money than that.
Like that little girl.
Yeah, you can look
be that.
You could.
In the early days, university professors met this way with people, believe it or not. Not just the creative artistic writer, PhD people were meeting with their people here, because there was no other platform for meeting together. They didn't want to do AOL. So you click join for free. And then you make up a username and put in your email, month, where were you born? I'm not a robot. And let's just do it. I'll just do it.
Shelley wants to be woman.
No. That's one. Did I spell that wrong?
She meant Wonder Woman, I think.
Woman. Did I say Wonder Woman?
You said woman.
No, Wonder Woman.
Well,
but that, don't do it, because I have to go find out if Family Tree Girl is still back there. You know what I mean? I want to clear that up first. But if you go dormant, I don't know what happens.
Or you could just use a series of random letters and numbers like the cool kids do.
So that somebody can stare at you from across the fire pit and wonder.
That'd be Cheri. She said she's always at the fire
pit. I'm always in the fire pit. Yes.
Always at the fire pit.
That's right.
So somebody might be able. Go ahead.
Coming back to this, are we joining a specific chapter like you showed, or
she'll show you? She'll show you. Yeah.
Okay.
No, let me make a password. Okay. I know. I have to put one letter. Okay. Date of birth. Don't look. I'll just say,
this is being recorded, so don't. Just make it up.
Yeah, make it up.
Yeah. What city were you born in? And this is my security, so I will say San Francisco.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and I can do non-binary, female or male. I'm not a robot. I've read the policies. Create my account.
So you are ancestral Pat.
Yeah, theoretically. It's already been taken. Can only contain letters and numbers. So it didn't like the space.
That's why Dan did that.
Yeah.
Okay. Letters and numbers.
Okay, we'll got to try another password. Okay.
That's the one thing that I really hate doing is passwords.
I have
When
to keep
every
a
3-4 months, certain institutions make you change federally.
Why do you think I've got
Shelley,
6 kids?
use LastPass.
No, you can each be a password.
Not because I love children. My password every 6 months of work.
I get it. All right. So I'm just going to work on my avatar.
Okay.
And go basic. I'm not paying for premium because I don't need to build a house here. I already have enough. Download and install Second Life. Okay, and then you get to pick your avatar. Of course, I'm already in here, so I can't actually do that part. But it takes you through, Dan, tell us what happened when you first came to Second Life. Did you go through the training of learning to make your avatar walk and jump and tap things and sit?
Yeah, there's like a training island sort of a thing that you go through, and then once you've completed that, it takes you out into this sort of garden space almost, where you can walk around, and it takes you to different portals to different things. Like if you want to go to like an adults only area, if you catch my drift, there's a place
you could.
There's and then there's like, you know, for younger folks, and then there's like regular people, and so that's where I kind of stopped. And then when I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna join you, then somebody had posted, just copy and paste this link and it'll take you right to the fire pit. And I was like, perfect. And so I did that, so I didn't have to, just in case you parked it in the adults only area, and it was
my mistake. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna pull up, let me close a few things here. I'm in Facebook, and I'll share that because that's where you can get the link. You can ask me or Laura or Cheri or Daniel. Dan, do you know how to share teleports? But I'm going to type in Second Life. Here's for Genealogists in Second Life is the main group. And then here's for the Virtual Society, and there's a slightly different one for APG. And it looks familiar. We're going to get here. Come on up.
My Second Life is Family Tree Girl is still there, you guys.
Oh, good. Now you have no excuse to join us.
Well, come on in. How do you like that for a banner? Citation needed. Somebody actually did that and held up a sign, and I happened.
Oh, and there I am in the background.
There you are,
sitting at the fire pit.
Still sitting at the fire pit.
Yep, a little bit like Pat Benatar.
Yeah,
with that outfit
kind of does.
No, I'm the one in the blue. I'm the one in the blue. Yeah. Yep. I gotcha.
And so then we post our link to join, which this was for APG, and there is where this was what we were talking about that particular session. How to set professional goals, and you just click on the link, and that gets you into Second Life, Just Genealogy area, because there are tens of thousands of areas like this. And then from then on, I can make you a friend. I can invite you to join Just Genealogy, so you'll get the notices. But most people come in through Facebook. Do you think so, Laura?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I just come in through. I just go back. I just pull up my Second Life and then just click, take me back to where I was.
Because, that's one of the options. To either go to your home if you built a place.
I mean, I don't have a home. I just when my
That's your home.
Well, when my screen, that's
Are
my
you
home.
homeless?
When my screen comes up, when Second Life comes up on my computer, there's an option for your avatar just to go to the last place where you were, and so I just always click on that, and then I end up in the fireplace. In the fireplace, in the fire pit.
Fireplace.
Yeah, I end up in the fireplace.
So that's kind of a taste of what Second Life is all about. They're real meetings.
They're real meetings, and we can do voice or chat if you don't want to talk, because you don't want, like, sometimes I don't talk because my kids are home and they're running around doing homework, asking questions, Dan, and I feel like I'm going to interrupt if I'm doing voice, but and then there's just so much going on that I can just chat, but voice too, just stick those headphones on and get in there and do voice. So it's really a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and sometimes you can figure out who people are, and sometimes, like Dan, you got no idea unless he does.
I thought I did pretty well. We had the meeting going, and then a little bit into it, I said, and I think we have a new person here tonight. And then you were all like, it's Dan.
We're like, no wonder he's causing trouble. It's Dan.
Yeah,
so
but first you said, I don't know if this new person is familiar with family history.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people just fly by. You get places faster by doing a thing called teleporting. So if you were stuck in the garden that Dan referred to, and we were online at the same time, if I knew his exact name, I could send him a teleport and he could come right to where.
Exactly.
Group of people at a meeting, and they're curious, and we hardly ever have incursions from people who are unkind. So all of my neighbors, the other landowners, we all help each other if there's anything. Nothing comes up anymore. It's a non-issue.
That's great.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love that.
Does anybody have any questions, something that maybe we haven't touched on that you would like to ask Pat?
Yeah, so we touched on the history, but so now that there are other virtual options, Pat, why would people choose this option as opposed to a group that met via Zoom or some other?
Heck if I know. No, it's it's like with any group, it's who else is there.
Yes.
And do you mesh with those people? It's the networking. And what works really well with the APG group, I mean, we had to bare our souls when we talked about our contracts and what would work for us and what would work for that person. And that person said, I hadn't thought of this, but because there's this camaraderie, people were not shy to share what it was they needed to lift their business up and get it going.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people, I'm sorry, Pat, go ahead.
When we first started out, Elise Dorflinger, who's just starting school this week with her pre-K people, I don't know how she's doing it with 4-year-olds, but she had never presented, but she had made a PowerPoint presentation and wanted to practice it. And I don't know who said, why don't you come practice it at our APG meeting? Well, she already knew who was coming and felt comfortable. And we put her slide deck up in that PowerPoint viewer. And she told me later, nobody could see her avatar. Her own knees were shaking, but not those of her avatar. And it was a place for her to practice giving her first PowerPoint.
Oh.
And the word criticism, because that has such a negative connotation. And she did an absolutely awesome job, and her timing was right. There were 1 or 2 things somebody suggested that were just minor tweaks, a matter of preference or something,
right?
But got her over that fear of actually so that, it's the people that you get to meet.
That's a wonderful thought on the practice amongst your peers on something you're getting ready to do. So that's a great opportunity.
I think so too. I think another thing is that nobody has to know who you are. So you can kind of come in incognito to begin with until you get comfortable in the group.
Correct.
Yeah, come check it out.
Yeah, come check it out. We'd love to have you.
It's funny.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything else before we end tonight?
No, I think this was exciting.
This was fun. I'm hoping our numbers double and triple.
Second Life Genealogical Society meets the second Sunday of each month.
Yes.
And the Second Life APG chapter meets the second Tuesday of each month. And when does the study groups meet? Or when do they meet?
It's a regular NGS study group. The they are studying the same
Right.
article
Same
that
articles.
everyone else is,
Mhm.
and they also meet, but I don't know when it is.
We're-
We passed the sign; it was on the board.
We're on Tuesday nights, and I want to say it's the first. We've moved it around so much. I don't remember it's the
probably
first.
why. Yeah.
So, but the notices always go out on Facebook, so you'll always know
Yeah.
what's going on, when and where. So they're so much fun. They're always a lot of fun. So
you did say that when you were looking at the map, there's spaces where people can go buy a room. I'm going to call it a room, or
It's land. It's land.
it's
and then you have to-
land.
Then you have
Okay.
to put a building on it, or trees and
So then
pillows to
set
sit
your-
on. Yeah.
Okay, great. No,
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
so much fun. So much
Appreciate it.
fun. Pat, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming and
Sure.
talking to us about Second Life. It's so much fun to have you on with us.
Thank you.
So much fun. And with that, everybody, we will see you next time on GenFriends. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.